Welcome to the Chic Show. Today I have some DIY Dollar Tree summer outdoor decor and more for you. The Hello Summer playlist will be listed in the description box below, and it's hosted by Ellie from DIY from House to Home, Tammy from the Rusted Willow, and co-hosted today by Lisa from Our Gray House. I'll have all their information in the description box below. Let's get started with project number 1. This fake book is from Dollar Tree. I got it clearly around Halloween time. I'm going to be painting it with Waverly chalk paint in agave. I did use 2 coats of paint around the top, sides, and bottom. Now that the paint is dry, I'm going to be gluing on this beach ball that I got off of another Dollar Tree sign from last summer, and I did use my Cricut Joy to cut out the words. You could use stickers. These are just block letters, so stickers would be fine. And I cut out the word Seaside, Florida for the front and just Seaside for the spine of the book. This paint had not been dry very long, so I was a little bit nervous about using this paper transfer tape, even though it works pretty well on most things. I did have a couple of little nicks where it pulled up the paint, but I just went back with a small paintbrush and doctored those up. I'm just going to be using hot glue to adhere the beach ball to the front, and this project will be ready for display. First, we're going to start with this sign from Dollar Tree and Fusion Paint in Inglenook. I trimmed around the inside edge of the sign and then painted the rest of it. I did leave the outside frame as is. Then used IOD's typesetter stamps, and I stamped out the words decks, docks, and flip-flops. I just used a lid from a plastic container I had to be my mount because I couldn't find it at the time, so I'm just inking it up with black ink from Hobby Lobby. I decided to do flip-flops at the bottom first, so then I could decide exactly where I wanted the other words. I then went ahead with the decks and docks. On a side note, you can see where this wood was engraved with the fresh flowers. I think if you used some chalk paint, it would fill in those cracks a little bit more. And then I used IOD's apothecary stamps for and. They're much smaller letters, and I didn't need a big word there. Then I used what I had on hand, which was a coffee cup holder and the strap to a mask, actually, and I made a flip-flop. I tried to find a flip-flop at Dollar Tree and Dollar General and just couldn't find anything, so I made my own, and the colors worked fine. For project number 3, I'll be using one of these fat quarters from Dollar Tree. I used my iron to get out all the wrinkles, and I'm using the entire piece of fabric. And then I folded the fabric in half. For this one, I used my Silhouette Cameo. I liked this font, but you could certainly use block letters and just cut them out of Dollar Tree's vinyl if you wanted to. I hear Dollar Tree does have some iron-on vinyl in some stores. Once it had time to cool, I peeled off that backing piece. And then I flipped it over. Once again, I'm folding the fabric in half and turning it over because I'm going to add another saying on this side. I'm going to go on with the same process and hold the iron onto my heat transfer vinyl until it adheres, let it cool, and then peel off the backing. I did use some chunky yarn, and I made 4 tassels for each corner of the pillow that I'm making. With the fabric folded in half, I'm placing the tassels where I'm going to want them on both sides of the pillow, and then I'm going to add a little dab of hot glue to hold them there. I'm sure there's probably a better way to do this, but this was the quickest thing I could think of at the time. So once that glue had dried, I did fold it in half again with the outside in. And then I proceeded to hot glue around the edges and add the last 2 tassels. On the 2 open corners, I just hot glued them in place in the corner with the tassel on the inside so that it will be on the outside when we flip the pillow. So I started around those corners first. On the last side here, I did glue on each side of the tassel with the tail sticking out, what is out right now, which will be inside when we flip it, and left that end open so that I could stuff the pillow. Now I'm flipping it inside out and I'm going to begin stuffing. Once I have it as full as I want, I'm going to take that edge, that raw edge, and just iron it down so that it will make a nice seam on both sides, and then I'll proceed to hot glue it shut as well. I forgot to mention, I saw a pillow like this on Kirkland's and it said Lakeside, and I thought, how fun would that be to have one side of it say Lakeside and the other side say Poolside. So that's where I got the inspiration for this pillow. And now we have the perfect little pillow for Poolside or Lakeside. First, I'm going to be using these 4 craft sticks, and I'm going to be painting them with Waverly chalk paint in ink. But before I do that, I'm going to cut one end of them at a point. Now that they're all cut, they will all get a coat of Waverly chalk paint in ink, front, back, and sides. For the next part, I'm going to be using some of IOD's apothecary labels. These are going to be plant markers, or herbs in this case. So I have parsley laid out on my stick, and now I'm going to be applying some white ink that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to lay these stamps down, press gently on each one, and pull it straight up. I'm going to continue in the same manner with the other 3 sticks. This one is sage. The next one is rosemary, and if you can see where I'm going with this, leave a comment down in the comment section on what herb you think I'm choosing next. If you are a music lover or anywhere near my age, you already know. If you are not, be sure and Google the song Scarborough Fair. Project number 5 is it's also an inspiration piece from Kirkland's, and it's going to be some nautical rope napkin rings. I'm using some of Dollar Tree's cotton rope, and I'm tying a nautical knot. I'll do it slowly so that you can see exactly how I did it. Lay your rope out as shown here. The short end underneath the long end, roll it over both sides of the rope and then back up under that one side, and then pull it tight, and you can cut it to the size of your liking. Now I want to finish off these ends, so I'm adding a dab of hot glue and some of this blue jute twine from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap it down about 1/2 inch or so. I'm going to repeat that process with the other side, and then we'll worry about cutting off the end of those ropes. Once I have them wrapped and hot glued, I go back with my scissors and I cut off the very ends. Of course, you can make as many napkin rings as you need. I made 2 in this case, and here they are. I would love to know which of these 3 projects was your favorite today. Be sure and let me know down in the comments. Thanks again to Ellie, Tammy, and Lisa for hosting today. Be sure and check out their channels as well as the Hello Summer playlist in the description box below. I have another video right here that I think you might like. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.